Hello! Fancy seeing you here. Christ. Okay, so, hello. My name is Amber. This is my first video on the YouTubes. I have been watching YouTube for a very long time, just never got around to actually making a video of my own, or had crippling anxiety about making my own video, but you know, here we are. We're facing it. We're going against it. We're yee. But today, I have kind of something that really touches my heart. It was a really good read that I would like to do a review for. And although I don't intend on making this channel I guess, like an otaku channel, I more so would just like to have just everything, just like a big fucking pit of fuckery, just whatever I feel like doing in a week or whatever, I just want to do it. Or unless you guys have any kind of suggestions that, you know, you feel like would be interesting for me to cover, or, different series that I can cover, that kind of thing, you know. So, like I said, today is more of a review for a certain series that I've been kind of getting into. I've only read the first volume, but it is a boys love manga. I don't necessarily like calling it a yaoi manga, particularly because yaoi kind of is, in my mind, this may just be me, but I kind of associate yaoi with more sexual violence kind of vibes. Like, you know, you kind of have, you know, one characteristic of a character that makes them kind of, how do you say, manipulative, maybe even a little bit pushy, and pushes the other character into a situation they might not be comfortable with, which, like I said, kind of rings back to the sexual violence kind of thing. Sorry for making the camera shake so fucking Jesus. But I think that calling it boys love would probably be more appropriate in my sense. Let me just lay it down. Let me just lay it down. Just lay it down. I like series that have boys love in them, but it's more of a mature relationship, but it's not necessarily fetishizing it. It's more showing the more loving parts of a relationship more than sexual. I honestly vibe with that on a greater level because I just feel like it kind of creates a deeper connection between the two characters. Not sure if that's like your thing or anybody's thing, but like, you know, I feel like that's more along my waves, my vibes. But the specific boys love manga that I want to review today is, I hear the Sunspot. It's such a cute little fucking, oh. Essentially, I don't know how I could make this review spoiler free, so I guess spoiler alert if you guys have not read it. I guess before we get to the spoilers, I would like to say I suggest this very much because it doesn't necessarily fetishize a relationship between two males. It more so kind of portrays an emotional relationship building up to maybe a sexual relationship. I haven't gotten past the first volume. I've got no idea. But I like this because so far it makes it, I don't know, it just makes it feel like there's a deeper connection between the two characters than you know, sexual. You feel? You feel. I think that to start this whole thing off, they're the two main characters, one named Kohei, I believe I'm saying those right, and Taichi. If I butchered those names, I am so sorry. I'm extremely white. I am so sorry. They start off, okay, it starts off a little bit bumpy because these two characters are going to the same college together in the beginning, okay? And one of them has a hearing disability that they makes it harder for them to communicate with other people, obviously, and also makes it harder for them to have friends and have people who understand them and like them for who they are versus, you know, how cute he is. Okay? Hold on. Let me get him up there for you. That's Kohei right here, the one that has a hearing disability. And then Taichi's down here, am so sorry, this camera is such shit, but my two precious boys, my two cinnamon buns. Kohei is just silently eating his lunch, you know, on top of a roof of some building. Who knows? It's always the roof. And Taichi kind of falls from nowhere, just literally just kind of flops right in, like God put him there himself because he knew that this was going to be a ship that was going to sail and last. At this school, there's such things as note takers for people who can't hear as well, and it helps these people obviously learn, whatever, you know. And Taichi, after receiving a lunch from Kohei, is like, hey, this guy feeds me, and he's kind of misunderstood. I think I'll be his note taker. And for a while, that is how they kind of get their relationship going, is that, you know, they kind of rely on each other in that sense, where, you know, Taichi relies on him for food, and then Kohei relies on Taichi for note-taking, but also emotional support in a way, because Kohei has never had an actual friend before in this series, apparently, like an actual friend, and Taichi kind of becomes his, you know, first best friend, almost. And Taichi doesn't really care that he can't hear very well. I mean, he talks a little slower, blah, 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 but, like, for some reason, Kohei can kind of understand Taichi perfectly. And if that's not soulmate material, I've got no idea what is. Eventually, down the road, we kind of learn that Kohei's hearing ability is kind of going away. It's getting a heck of a lot worse than it used to be. And Kohei kind of withdraws himself from Taichi because he feels like this is going to cause a rift between them and make it so much harder for them to be friends. And then Taichi's going to end up leaving him. So essentially, our ship is about to fucking sink because one of them has insecurities. But, you know, eventually down the road, Taichi kind of, you know, gets in his face and it's like, hey, I don't care about your fucking hearing. And is like, you know, I'm gonna stick with you no matter what. I don't really care. You know, I mean, love, bitch. Eventually, Kohei comes to the realization that he might love Taichi, that he might have feelings for him, and Taichi's not necessarily comfortable with that yet, at least as far as I am in this volume. But you know, we get I get somewhere where, you know, Taichi's kind of like, you know, I don't hate it. And then there's my ass on the other side of the page that's like, well, if you don't hate it, get with it, please. Overall, this series so far, in my opinion, has been very, so simple, so sweet, very, very dramatic, especially towards the end. The art style, let me get a couple of examples for you guys, because the art style, the way that the artist kind of draws things is a little bit weird. Like, it's almost kind of like an ugly, beautiful, like, manga a little bit. Like, it just doesn't feel like some of the lines are, like filled in properly. It's kind of hard to explain. It's more of a rough drawing style than it is very complete. Although I don't hate that, it can make some of the characters look a little bit wonky sometimes, and that kind of set off the mood for me, but I still appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. I think that both of the characters, when you really get down to the nitty-gritty between the two of them, Kohei is a very, because of his hearing disability, he's very withdrawn from people. He doesn't like making relationships with other people and socializing. It's hard for him to kind of, you know, get a hold on to friendships because he thinks they're all going to kind of, you know, blow away like a house of cards almost if he does the wrong thing. Whereas Taichi, we realize that he's very outgoing, doesn't really care. He goes with a lot of stuff. He's very easy, like I said, he's very laid back, easygoing. And that kind of makes it easier for Kohei to kind of open up to him and make it so that he, you know, feels comfortable with him. And I feel like that's like a very, very, very cute, very Much cute, very cute. Like, this isn't necessarily the most developed, complex kind of like manga. If you're looking for something like that, I wouldn't necessarily run into this. But I would definitely give it a look if you're kind of looking for something that's almost like a short read. This took me about an hour to read, just kind of, you know, binging it. I guess either because I'm a fast reader or, you know, whatever. Maybe I just didn't soak it in like I should have. But I think that for most people, I think that this would be a very, you know, very cute, simple read. There's a couple of other volumes that I still need to catch up on, but maybe I'll do an update video as to how I feel about this series after I read the rest of those. But for right now, I hear the Sunspot is a very cute book. Very, very nice. Very nice. I love boys love. Jesus, can't you tell by the the poster in the back? Ah, my life's a mess. Fuck. Okay. But overall, this book was very nice. Very nice. And definitely give it a read even if I spoiled it for you. Even give it a read. It's nice. I don't even know the rest of the series yet. This might just be a precursor to like a shit ton of other events that happen. I don't know. I've got no idea what's gonna happen next. But sorry for moving around so much. That's been my review for this manga. So I plan on updating, maybe putting up an episode sorry, not an episode, a video every once a week maybe. It depends on my schedule because in the day I'm kind of busier, at least during the week, especially since I work nights as well. It's kind of hard for me to kind of get into the rhythm where I can actually find time to do this kind of thing. And if you expect me to look like this all the time, I've got news for you. That's just not going to happen. Took me a while to get these wings to the way they are. So I'm just warning you now. If I come in with no eyebrows, you have been fairly warned. But I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you taking the time to maybe open up your mind to a good boys love manga. Oh boy. And I hope you subscribe. Please subscribe. Maybe even like this video. Please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully that'll be next week. Hopefully that'll be next week. No promises. Hopefully next week. Next week.